I call to order the Hancock County Commissioners meeting for December 27th, 2024.
I'm gonna move to adopt the agenda as published.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Do we have any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. We have some calculating we're gonna do for the treasurer's ARPA funds review adjustments.
Monica is on, is she? She's available if you need her, so.
Hello, Monica, you there?
I am.
Okay, great.
She's unhooking her life support. Monica, we're making the adjustments necessary to end up with the 1.7 we need. The
Yep.
first one, Banyan. So when we look at it, the data sheet that you gave us, the second item there, the IT tech services that had an unexpended balance of 100,000, is that correct? Is that the account we're going to reduce?
That's right.
And we're going to take 90 from that, is that correct?
No, I originally had 210,000 in there. So we're taking 110, the amount in red is the amount that we're taking out.
Okay,
And you've already done that on your sheet here, then, huh?
I have done that on the sheet, yeah.
yes. So my question is, would one motion to approve the transfers outlined on her sheet do it, or would you like to see everything listed individually?
Yeah, that's up to you folks.
But if we do that, Paul, does that preclude us from making additional?
No.
Okay, so I would support that, and that would, because she does have 1.7.
Yeah, she did that homework.
And
So-
the total amount of the reduction is the 421,518
But that,
at the
Monica, that
bottom of
doesn't,
the second page.
Monica, that doesn't though include if there was some funds for the jail plumbing project
No,
that were in question.
no.
No, that's right.
So maybe you could run down through and just tell that there's only 2 or 3 items that you amended, correct?
Since last week, yes. I amended the pay for Banyan by 110,000. And I amended the administrative funds by 20,000.
Excuse me, where is that?
The next line down, ARPA administrative.
It's just treasury. Yeah.
Right there, okay. Yep, I have that. What, anything else?
And I reduced some in the DA's office equipment line. She has bought everything she needs. And so she has, Michelle has allowed us to free up the remaining 9,948.70
Okay,
in the investigator equipment line.
okay,
But so everything here, the 421,518 is the cumulative amount, because really no action was taken last week on reducing any of these. We reviewed it, but we wanted to see if there was any more that we could reduce it by.
and what we did last week is the rest of what's in red, Monica?
Right, everything in red is a combination of what we did last week and this week.
What you did, okay, and what's left in red was done last week, what you just mentioned is done since then, correct?
Right, that's right.
So I think your motion is in order, Paul, to approve the,
So this is what I didn't mean to interrupt you. But, what I was just gonna approve reallocating ARPA funds as outlined on the treasurer's remaining ARPA funds not yet designated worksheet as presented and dated 12/23/24.
and I'll second that motion.
And I think that does everything to bring back the 1.706,
Right,
but nothing else that we,
Yeah,
that's right. What you're doing is reallocating, you're really reallocating the 421,000, which was previously approved. You're reallocating that to undedicated funds. Because the 421,000 was already pre-approved, so we're removing those funds. Therefore, what you're doing is undesignating 421,000, so you can put it back into the ARPA funds not yet designated.
So really, it should be the vote of that undesignated amount first to get back to the total amount of the 1.7.
Right. That's right. It should be a vote
Then you
on
allocate there
the total returned.
And his motion does that, correct?
yeah,
Well,
well, it doesn't,
Not really, because you're saying the total altogether is like one.
Right.
And you had, not all that had been delegated or had been obligated before, or designated before.
so this is my plan, just so that this motion brings back, this motion approves Monica's worksheet. My next motion will allocate 1.7 of that 1.706.
That's not what Michael's saying, though. He thinks there's gotta be a specific motion to reallocate $421,000
Should have that
Right.
down.
that had been previously allocated, and it's gonna reallocate that as undesignated.
Yes,
Okay, so, yeah, okay,
That balance is $421,518.04.
yeah, let me,
And once that becomes undesignated, that brings
Brings
the
the-
undesignated to 1.7.
that's right.
So
yeah,
you just incorporate that 418 really into it and indicate the 1.706 is the total unallocated at the moment.
So
421.
you gotta remove your motion.
yes, yes.
All right.
Okay, so,
So Paul's removed his motion, I removed my second. No motion on the floor, correct?
yes, so.
So we're only removing the designation, correct? We're not reallocating it. So
That's
you
right.
should say, Paul, something to the effect of removing 421,000, that amount from designated funds,
And returning it to,
the undesignated.
right.
So I'm gonna move. Monica, listen, to make sure I'm on point
Yep.
here. Move to remove $421,518.94,
Oh, 4 cents.
4 cents.
04 cents. Of designated ARPA funds as outlined in the treasurer's remaining ARPA funds not yet designated ARPA worksheet, as presented dated 12/23/24. Period. Is
No,
that-
and return to undesignated.
and return to undesignated funds. To
Right.
undesignated ARPA funds.
Yes,
You okay with that, Monica?
yes,
I'm gonna second the motion.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Now, before we go any further, I'd like to see if there's any more funds that should be undesignated that we have since determined since Monica did her rule. Dennis? Monica had taken out undesignated some of your plumbing funds, correct?
Yes, that was 20,000, Monica, out of the agri project.
I see, jail architect plumbing 12-2.
Yeah, that was originally done, and then out of the plumbing project, phase 1.
There's a balance of 41,664. In jail plumbing, you have a copy of this?
I don't.
I'm gonna give you black and white in this.
Oh, okay.
So if you look on page 1, if you can figure out which one that is, on a two-sided page. And look down through the jail plumbing phase 1. Looks to me
Yeah,
like.
the one with
unexpended-
I'm sorry, the one with the additional fixtures was the one we were waiting to hear back from Dennis on.
Yes, which I have, I've heard nothing, but, I thought to take,
I hate to let that job go if,
well, I would make up the difference if there's a slight overage in my reserve funds. Which are,
What do you mean? It's so,
like, if we took out 30,000 and we came up $1,000 short, I would take that out of reserve funds instead of, because the ARPA funds obviously would be committed elsewhere.
and I think that's a safe move because I'd rather not leave 30,000 on the table than, I'd rather take it out of reserve than leave it on the table, so.
So what we're talking right now is the 42,517.
Yeah,
yes,
And Dennis is saying that he's comfortable taking 30,000 of that and making 30,000 of that undesignated,
is that what you're saying, or are you
Yes.
saying 10,000? All right, just making sure.
30,000.
And leaving the remainder, yes.
Leaving 12,512. Yep. In all.
And whatever shortfall that fund might end up seeing would make up with reserve funds
Good.
Well, that would be something you cross.
down the
Get
road,
there,
that's
yeah.
right.
30,000.
Well, we got Paul's writing on this motion, this, while he's computing. Another one,
Yeah, another
you know,
account.
another account you thought might have access? No, okay, that's the only one we're talking about today.
I think the other.
And Monica, have you discovered any others that might?
no, not really, nothing, nothing that I know of. I've spoken with department heads, they're going through with vehicles, those orders are on the way for the sheriff's department. The John Deere generator contract would be something Dennis would have to decide if he wants to keep that in there. That'd be $1,100. I've not received billing yet on the climate survey, but I think we're just waiting for the bill. I think Chuck wants to go ahead with the IT room racks. I don't know if,
Is the room rack for the new facility, Chuck? Oh,
Yes, it is ordered, but
We already ordered.
you've already ordered it? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So I guess we're still waiting for Paul's motion.
so I don't know if there's really much more that we can
Yeah.
undesignate comfortably.
So it would be, the only thing it would be is something that we were willing to make up out of additional funds if we did have to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in doing that if we had any idea that something might not get billed. That way we don't leave it on the table. So that would be something that you would have to suggest.
Okay, so this is what I have. I'm gonna move to reduce the jail plumbing phase 1 additional fixtures by $30,000 and return the funds to undesignated ARPA funds.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
That, Monica, that does it?
Sounds good, yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Still have legal funds that, right, that we have to.
Well, so, yes, so, what I was gonna do, the next one I was gonna do was to allocate the 1.7.
But can you, how much of that can you do right now? I mean, just saying, don't you have to make
Well-
sure you don't have that you take out the legal fees and.
Yeah, so that's what's
Okay,
it's taken me so long. Right now, I have, from the action we've taken, I have a balance, ARPA funds not yet designated of 1.73676539.
I agree with that.
Right.
And I
Okay,
agree that we should designate 3.7 now before we do anything else with balance. So I agree with you.
well, so what I was gonna do was now allocate 1.7,
That's what I mean. To the project.
yeah, to the project, and then clean up these other things after that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna move to allocate $1.7 million of the remaining ARPA funds not yet designated to the EOC project as outlined in the 2 contracts to be signed in items 9A and B on this agenda.
So we're only approving the transfer, not approving the contracts.
Yes.
Second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, I'd like to, before we go any further, I'd like to do the 10,000 for the attorney's fees, legal fees.
Well, so what to me, it's not to the attorney's fees, it's to the closing, because it's on a closing statement.
Whatever.
So, Monica, do you agree with that?
Yeah, wasn't it more, a little more than 10,000 though?
Yeah,
Michael?
it's 10,570.76.
So Monica, that was the actual one, but we do have other stuff we've already paid,
Yeah,
which
so how much
From
is that other?
from prior invoices.
No, from what account?
From our actual legal commissioner's department for legal item.
Well,
But that was separate from what you're talking about right now, so.
you know, what I'm
Right,
trying to
right.
do is square up the closing statement
Yes.
to, and then if you have other stuff, then that'll be a subsequent motion.
So you definitely need the authorization on that, because we need to get them that money.
And I
as soon
agree
as
with that,
possible.
Paul.
So,
I don't mean to be difficult, but I was just trying to get this so it makes sense.
It's $10,570.76.
What was that amount again, John?
$10,570.76.
Okay.
You have some sense, Michael, how much legal fees left?
probably 4 or 5 anyway, so. But it goes back to what you guys calculate for.
This is dated December. Okay, so move to allocate $10,570.76 of the remaining ARPA funds not yet designated to the EOC closing and reflected on the buyer's closing statement dated December 17, 2024.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Monica, that does it?
Sounds good.
Okay,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, so let me get back to my spreadsheet. So,
So that leaves 1,726,194.63.
No, that leaves 26,194,
Yep,
63.
now, I think what we've already paid out of the account. I think we should just leave it for now, and instead of trying to pick a number we're not sure. Is there something else before if not, while you're thinking, quite some time ago, Dennis consulted with an individual who had the expertise in reciting metal buildings and received a quote for closing in the hangar building. And I think that is something critical for us to do sooner than later, regardless of what we do in that building. It's wide open on 3/4 of the front and needs to be closed in before we do anything, because it needs power and perhaps some work on the roof, but before we can do anything inside, even storing anything, we need to close that in. So Dennis, did you have a price from that individual?
Yes,
How much was that?
just for you want the
No,
doors
just-
included?
Just a,
Just his work to
work.
close in the front. And that includes framing out the openings for the doors,
Yeah.
but not the doors.
Yeah.
That's 18,500,
and then you had a quote from PDQ for doors,
89,1399.
89 and $13.
$13.99.
so we're short. Can somebody add those or?
Well, it's
It's 27,413.99.
27,413.
What was the first amount, Dennis? 18.
18,500.
Okay, and we have, as far as I can figure, 26,194.63. Does that, everybody agree with that?
Right.
Yep.
So I'd like to see us designate $26,194.63 towards closing in the building and the balance from Dennis's reserve account, which is,
Well, he could do that when those are estimates, right?
Yes,
Okay,
and
so,
there's gonna be additional. There's some
okay, so
side work, but
basically all we need to do is just designate the 26,194.63 to closing in the building.
Okay, then we'll make up the gap with
And what, yeah,
the reserve account.
yeah, we might be able to work with him and find that something he wants to do, we don't need to do, or something. But anyway,
Right,
in any
that's
event, we'll up to 26,000.
okay, so what,
What's the name of the company?
Joe Oxley
Is
of Herman, Maine.
that the name of the
That's
business?
his name, yeah.
well, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna designate it here and then you guys can,
Well,
Okay.
if I understand correctly, we have got to obligate that to, we've got to have somebody obligated for that. In other words, we have got to decide today that we're going to contract with Joe Oxley to do this and spend 26 for that. We can't just designate that and then go look for somebody, correct? Like,
At this point, you'd have to have,
We
we have
need
to
a
have
name.
an actual obligation.
so that guy, is that signed? Is he obligated once we say we're obligated?
Once you approve it, I'm sure he,
yeah,
He
he's
would
going to,
sign it, wouldn't
he's going to make that an obligation by the end of the year if we designate him. So Patty, a motion should be that due to the emergency of not being able at the time to bid, we're going to consider him sole source because Dennis already has a quote from both companies that gets that funds obligated by the end of the year, somehow in that motion.
Should we do it as two motions, one for each?
It's up to you, so as long as we,
Okay, we're deciding that that's more important than these other things on later. Collectively, we're doing that.
yeah, the time issue, I think.
well, I'm I mean, I've been on the opinion that, but last several weeks and whatnot, balance of these funds, whatever they were, should be put towards the project up there. There's far more work that needs to be done than we have money for.
I think you could designate it as one project. And I mean, and then basically, it sounds like Oxley is the general contractor and they're using PDQ door to put in a door. Is that right, Dennis?
That's right.
Right, in fact, his quote was from Oxley, included PDQ's estimates.
Right, right.
So it. So we're going to obligate, Joe Oxley obligates the doors.
Yeah, I think one figure would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm,
Which is simply the balance of this for the time being.
Right.
on your, yeah, you're on the board of that.
Yeah. Okay with this.
Okay. The EOC, what are we calling this? EOC hangar?
No, we should say the
Building D.
Hancock site, the Hancock site,
Building D at the Hancock site.
building D. Hancock site, building D.
Winterizing, is that what it is, sort of?
Closing in or drying in, however you want to.
Okay, closing, we all understand what that means. I don't know whether we do this by motion, but I think it helps if we understand what A, B, C, D, and E is, as far as the buildings. So,
This was building B as in boy.
no, D is in David.
Delta.
Tell
Oh, D, thank you.
Engage. Joe Oxley, you said?
Joe Oxley, Oxley.
Uh, Due to what? You said time due to,
Inability,
short time, short,
unlimited time to get. Limited time.
okay, move to allocate $26,194.63 of the remaining ARPA funds not yet designated to closing in Building D of the Hancock site, engage Joe Oxley as a sole source to the limited time to bid the project.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And everybody's, that does accomplishes what we. Monica, you're happy?
Yes.
Okay, so we now have a balance of 0.
As I understand it.
Regardless of what it is, it's what it is.
Yeah,
I mean.
okay, and the funds for the rest of they've already been expended out of the legal budget, right? The funds that are not in this closing state.
Right. That's what I understood the conversation with the attorney.
Yes. Yeah, because they're obligated to have their final bill on this statement, so. Okay, so. That does it.
This is gonna be,
So we have our transfer sheet that we have to do, or we already do that, I can't remember.
You have to
No, we have to do that. And that's basically the transfer sheet for the action that we took
took it the
at
last.
the last meeting.
Yeah, $935.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move to approve and sign the transfer sheet permitting the transfer of $935 from county building account G1 3011 00 the buildings maintenance account R06 923 cover the additional costs associated with installing the next gen generator in the DA's office.
second motion,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
I guess I should have put as previously approved, but. Okay, so because of this, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are moved, right?
yes,
So now we're on to the commissioners. Nine A and B. Okay. So, under nine A, I'm gonna move to approve the A document. Oh, not one, AIA document, B 108-2009. Agreement between Hancock County and Lewis and Mom Architecture for the Hancock County Emergency Operations Center project as presented in the email provided at 2:50 PM, December 26, 2024. Authorize the chairperson to sign on behalf of Hancock County.
second motion,
And the reason I was so specific is because there was that agreement with the same designation in a prior.
understood,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
And the same will apply. And the next one, move to approve the AIA document A 133-2019. Was the first one 2009, in fact?
See, I mean, it's probably the version of, as long as you got the numbers. correct,
Okay.
yeah.
I just want to make sure I got the
Yeah.
numbers. correct. Okay.
I mean, as far as I know, yeah.
Okay, so A 133-2019, agreement between Hancock County and E.L. Shea Incorporated for the Hancock County Emergency Operations Center project is presented in the email provided at 2:50 PM, December 26, 2024, and authorized chairperson to sign on behalf of Hancock County.
second motion,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
So that action functionally takes
So that obligates that 1.7.
the 1.7, well, actually obligates the 3.
Well, but the other
Yes.
2 is from a different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
so you don't think we need a separate motion to apply the 1.7? Is ARPA funds?
No, because I think that's what I did prior.
Yeah, I thought that was like motion 1. right?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, yeah, that's right. Oh, building site.
Okay, yeah. All right. Now are we ready to do our executive session?
did we vote on that?
Yeah.
We. So we have nothing else.
So I didn't receive anything else back from them, any response to what I sent. But they did send us a copy of the language that we discussed. So I don't know if you want to quickly go into executive
Yeah,
session to
probably.
review
I
that.
Discuss it.
But before we do that, I just wanted to make sure that we've covered everything that we had to,
Tim,
Andy and Monica.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I don't know,
So,
I don't know if he didn't realize I didn't know this or not.
Tim?
Yeah,
He's gonna check the phone and see if he's. But have you made the motion to go into executive session?
not yet.
Not yet.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna move if we're ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to go into executive session as permitted by MRSA Title I, Section 405, 6D for union contract negotiations.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're coming back in from executive session with nothing to report. County Administrator Office comments?
Just to make clear on agenda item D, there's no action, correct?
Yes.
Sorry.
So county administrator, just one, I'd like to wish Paul well on his future endeavors as you move on. I want to thank you. You were one of three, but still you put your trust in me and gave me this opportunity to have a chance to be here and work here and help, the residents and the citizens of Hancock County. So I appreciate that faith and trust and hope that will continue and wish you well. Hopefully you'll get a little bit more free time to relax and enjoy life a little bit. So,
Thank you. I feel the same way. It was a pleasure to work with.
thank you.
Right. Any commissioner comments? Well, on the same note, obviously. It's been good working for you with you this past 4 years. We do have a couple things for you.
I just wanted nobody here.
Yeah.
That's good.
There's a lot of fanfare here.
That's granite from the building, I believe, on the course.
Wow.
Yeah, tell us, what is that?
Wow.
Piece of granite they had up front?
They did core cuttings from something, I think, that was from the granite from the front steps or what it was, but.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Very nice. Thank you.
And even more memorable is our other gift.
And here's your parking sign, which you can.
Oh, Jesus. I could have fun with that.
I know.
You can put it at your place of business and maybe people drive it through it.
I'll put some Velcro on it. Every once in a while, I'll come
Just
put it
slapping
on.
on.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Pictures. Should have dressed up.
Oh, no.
Paul, we looked at the picture with us there.
I could change the
Monkey in the hood.
every week. I could put that in a different spot.
Wherever you back, just put it up afterwards.
Good for some public comments that way.
All righty.
Thank you.
Paul,
Thank you very much.
what do we do without you?
Thank you. Well, it'll be fun.
Well, I know what it's always involved. Just
See, I think most people saw you last week at the luncheon, say goodbye.
Well, that was very nice too. Thank you.
even then, we were gonna do that, a luncheon thing or something, but geez, we couldn't get everybody there at one time, so. And then we figured out we had another meeting.
All right.
Well, my comments are, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure working with all of you, really. We've all had differences, but we all came together. I appreciate it. I think we're lucky here. We got a good staff, and I wish they were all here, but
Like I've always said, I try to leave it better than when I come here. You've done that. You've made the county better now than all of you come in, so
thank you.
big part of the role of the place.
Thank you. So my last motion is move to adjourn.
I'm gonna have to second that, I guess.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On to 2025.